Imagine stepping onto a lush tropical island where the air smells of ripe fruit and salt from the Indian Ocean breeze. You walk through dense forests, and suddenly, a strange, plump, gray bird waddles out from behind the trees. It's about the size of a turkey, with tiny, useless wings, a big hooked beak, and a calm, curious expression. It doesn't fly away. In fact, it doesn't even seem afraid of you. This was the dodo, a bird so unique and so trusting that it became a symbol of extinction itself. The dodo, Rarest cucullatus, lived exclusively on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, about 800 kilometers east of Madagascar. It evolved from a pigeon-like ancestor that likely flew from Southeast Asia or nearby islands millions of years ago. But once it reached Mauritius, something incredible happened. The dodo lost the need to fly. There were no natural predators here, no large mammals to fear. The island's forests offered plenty of fruit, seeds, and roots. Over thousands of generations, the dodo's wings shrank, its body grew heavier, and it adapted to a slow, ground-dwelling lifestyle. This evolutionary journey is a perfect example of what scientists call island gigantism, species becoming larger and more specialized when isolated from predators. The dodo stood about 1 meter tall and could weigh up to 15 kilograms. The weight likely varied with food availability. Its plumage was grayish-brown, with lighter feathers on the belly, and it had small, curled tail feathers, often described as a tuft at the back. Its most distinctive feature was its large, hooked beak, strong enough to crack tough seeds and perhaps defend itself if needed. Despite its heavy build, the dodo was agile in its own way. Historical accounts suggest it walked with a confident waddle, using its beak to forage on fallen fruits, nuts, and seeds. Some evidence indicates it swallowed stones, much like modern birds such as chickens and ostriches, to help grind up food in its gizzard. The dodo likely nested on the ground, laying a single large egg in a simple nest of grass or leaves. With no predators, there was no need to hide or protect nests in trees. Chicks probably grew quickly, feeding on the abundant vegetation and fruit. This simple breeding strategy worked perfectly, until humans arrived. The dodo's lack of fear, slow reproduction, and ground nesting habits would soon make it tragically vulnerable. In the late 1500s, Portuguese sailors first reached Mauritius, followed by the Dutch in 1598. With them came dogs, pigs, rats, and monkeys, animals that had never existed on the island before. They raided dodo nests, eating eggs and chicks. Sailors hunted adult dodos for food, though most reports suggest the meat was tough and unpleasant. The greater damage came from habitat destruction and invasive species. Within less than a century of human contact, the dodo was gone. The last widely accepted sighting was in 1662. Meaning the entire species disappeared in under 100 years. The dodo became one of the first species whose extinction was directly recorded by humans, making it a powerful symbol in conservation. Its story teaches us about the fragility of island ecosystems and the speed at which human activity can erase millions of years of evolution. Today, Mauritius honors the dodo as a national symbol, appearing on coins, stamps, and official emblems. Scientists have studied preserved bones and rare drawings to learn more about this lost bird. In fact, some researchers have even discussed the possibility of de-extinction, using genetic technology to bring the dodo back. While this remains controversial, the conversation reflects our ongoing fascination with this remarkable bird. The dodo never knew fear. It never learned to run from danger. In a world without predators, it lived in peace for thousands of years, until humans changed everything. As you hear its story, think about the species alive today that share its vulnerability. Animals on small islands, creatures with tiny populations, wildlife threatened by invasive species. The dodo's fate is a warning from history, a reminder that survival is never guaranteed. Even for the most well-adapted species, the dodo is gone, but its message lives on. What we protect today will shape the world tomorrow. The dodo's story may have ended centuries ago, but the lesson it leaves behind is timeless. Here on Roar and Explore, we uncover the tales of the wild, from the giants that once roamed the earth to the fragile species fighting for survival today. Because every roar, every feather, every heartbeat in nature has a story, and those stories deserve to be heard.